Hey y'all, it's old Jesse. Um, this morning I was gonna do a reading of Proverbs chapter 1, verses 10 and 11. There's some thoughts here that are a little bit complicated, not so complicated. Maybe in some cases completely against modern moral philosophy. There again, it's been against modern moral philosophy from verse 1. So, there we go. All right. Verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood, let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Okay, that first verse, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. That seems like, just don't let somebody convince you into doing something bad. Well, now think about this. The Bible says don't be an alcoholic. Don't lie, don't swear. Don't thieve. Don't carouse or be a troublemaker or whatever. But, if you're growing up, especially as a young man, and your buddy comes over and he's like, hey, let's go to the bar. Come on, man, come on, let's go. And they're like, hey, let's go do this. Or like, hey, take a hit of this, have a cigarette, have some marijuana, have a drink, whatever they're doing. Or it might be something even harder than that, that would be bad, wouldn't it? Or it'd be like, oh, come on, man, I really like you or whatever, and your buddy's a homosexual and they're like, just try it once. No, consent thou not. That means tell them no. You don't have to say like, well, you're a right bastard, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. You don't have to be mean about it. In some cases, you might want to, because that's the only way to get somebody to go away. Because if you're like, no, I've had folks sit there and for hours try to convince me. And at some point, you just got to tell them to get the heck out of your house or go away. Leave you the heck alone. You don't want to do that. And so that's something to think about, is like, I understand how bad peer pressure can get and what it can do. I understand, because I went through it, and I think a lot of adults, as you get older, it gets easier to tell other folks no. A little bit, If you're married to a wife and you love her, it's going to be near impossible to tell her no, because you love her. But your children, it gets easier and easier to tell them no, because sometimes they ask for bad things. And so, but when you're a young person, that struggle is hard and it's real and it's a struggle, because it's like, maybe it's something that you really want to do, And for young girls, if another girl's like, come on, let's go out, let's go party, let's go find some men, let's go find the D, you know what I'm saying? And because the girls do that, they go out hunting the D now. And you need to tell them no, because you don't want to get, lose your virginity for no reason, or get knocked up, get pregnant because you got drunk, whatever, in some bar and you don't even know the guy's name. So, with that comes, if your friend is making fun of you for the type of entertainment that you have, and they're like, oh, what, you know, all you do is you play these stupid little games or whatever. You don't even look at porn or whatever, you know, like if they're making fun of you for having good habits, we'll just tell them, hey, I don't like wasting money at the bar. You know, I don't want to get addicted to porn because there's a good chance that if I do that, then I want to hire a hooker, you know, and I don't want to waste my money on that either. And there are reasonable, you know, like responses. No, because I don't want to is a valid response. They might not like it, and they'll keep hounding you about it. And trust me, I had a cousin that was kind of like that, and he would just hound you and hound you and hound you until you went, even if you didn't really want to go. But you need to understand that you have to say no, because if you don't, well, bad things happen. You'll be driving home drunk from the bar and get pulled over, or you might be there and get in a fight, or puking your guts out the next morning. Or if you're a gal, you might end up knocked up, wonder why it's sore between your legs, wonder whose house you're in, you know. Or you may end up taking a drug that ruins your mentality for the rest of your life. Or end up in jail for a different reason entirely, you know, and this is a thing where, like, if you're trying to be a good person, I can tell you for sure, at different points in your life, there will be folks that try to get you to do bad things for yourself. You need to be strong enough for yourself that you don't want to. That you know where that goes. You've already looked into what happens with folks. You've already made a decision about that. You just have to tell them no. And if they're not religious friends, or if they're friends that are religious, that just don't know what's good for them, just tell them that you have better plans. You have different plans that night. Even if those plans are just staying home and bumping a log, it don't matter. If it's fun for you and that's what you like, or even if it's not fun for you and you just don't want to get into the ruckus, don't. Okay? So, yeah. Now, verse 11. If they say, come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily or privately for the innocent without cause. Okay. It's common, but it's not so common for this kind of thing to happen. Now, it could be as simple as a couple guys going to a bar looking for a fight, and they just pick a random guy and knock him out, or hit him pretty hard, you know? Or it could be, you know, that girl gossip, where, like, I want to make her cry because I don't like her, and they get that girl gossip going on. That's not necessarily going after blood, but that's going after somebody's life, you know, to destroy it, to ruin their reputation. It's kind of the same thing, but not really the same thing. This one, verse 11, is mostly a menfolk thing. Not completely, but mostly. And you find it more common in America in redneck communities that just like to fight, or in black or Mexican communities that have gangs. And I'm not going to say the white communities don't have gangs, because we do. They're just not as much of a thing. Okay? And this whole waiting for innocent blood or whatever, it's like turf wars, where, you know, one person that you don't know what goes through the neighborhood, and the gang gets out there and gives them a hard time. That person didn't do nothing. The gang members are just sitting out there acting like they were minding their own business, but watching the whole street. That's that lurking privily. Or it's like, somebody gets into thieving, and they got a couple buddies, and they just kind of wait around and beat somebody up and take their stuff, and muggings and stuff like that. That's what that is. Or it could be big business. We're going to set up a situation and we're going to shut him down. And it might not cost physical blood, but they plan to destroy a man's life savings for the fun of it. And that's a serious thing. Don't get involved with stuff like that. Yahweh, our God, watches us. He knows what we're doing. And he knows if we're good folks or if we're bad.